What's up, y'all? How you doing? It's your boy Gerald. It is Tuesday, the 11th of November, 2014. How you doing? You know, God works in mysterious ways. First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you that, once again, just take a second to hear what is conveyed from my mouth. As you already know, it comes from spirit, and this is the power of discernment. But when it comes to your life, don't you think it's important that you do the work? Yeah. You know, you guys might not know this, but it is 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, 3 in the morning. I know y'all saying, what are you doing up this early? Let me tell you what. Well, you know, I went to sleep, and something woke me up out of my sleep that had me uneasy. And, you know, I'm a firm believer in the power of discernment. And I just felt that there was somebody that I'm connected to directly or indirectly that is in distress. And I was supposed to give them this message. So, as I always do, I let the words come from spirit, because we are all spiritual beings, and we are just a vessel for His work. But I got this feeling that somebody is in a crossroads, and you're battling between your logic as well as what is found within, and it's got you perplexed. But more importantly, you are very afraid. Now, the irony of it all is this: the person that you let the world see is not who you really are. And it's very tiring, because you know that if the world knew who you really were, you would feel that you was possibly not be accepted because of the circles you run with. So, what I'm supposed to tell you is this: stop worrying about turn up and turn away if you want to have the life intended. Did you hear what I said? Stop worrying about turning up and turn away if you want to have the life intended. And see, I know some of you are probably saying, well, why would you say that, Gerald? Because somebody right now feels that the decisions that they're making, it feels like life or death to them, because this will impact their life for quite a long time. You're feeling an unrest in your spirit because you feel like there's a burden of no one doesn't understand you. They don't get you. And you feel that you have to how we used to say it, no future in your front, and you're tired, and actually the person that you project yourself out in the world is not the person that's within. So now you've got to make a decision what to embrace. Well, first of all, let me tell you something. There's no happiness in alter egos. The only thing that comes out of having an alter ego is really being bipolar or schizophrenic. Because when a person has an alter ego, they more or less do not have the courage to be themselves. So they put this air about them that they're this or that, but a lot of times it ends up biting them in the butt because of choices that have to be made to sustain the illusion. So I'm here to tell you again, stop worrying about trying to turn up and turn away, because all that's going to do is deplete you. All it's going to do is hold you back. All it's going to do is block you from the things that are rightfully yours. So that means you've got to be courage. You've got to show some courage when it comes to you. But in actuality, I know people get intimidated with that word courage. So I'll flip it. Now's the time to do something different. Now's the time to invest in you wholeheartedly. Now you may be thinking when I say invest in you is to have a reason to be selfish. No, I don't mean that. No, what I'm saying to you is it's time for you to get back to one, get back to self. There's a lot of things that make you you that you have forgotten of. And the ironic part about it, these are the same things that separate you from them. I'm picking my words, y'all, because I don't like being rude. And I know you said, I don't care, Joe, just say it. Just say it. Okay, I'm going to say it. I heard you. Some of you are deliberately dumbing yourself down just to be accepted with your peer group, the people you running with. But in the back of your mind, you think that's condonable or cute. It's not. Some of you actually think that the more obnoxious behavior that you exemplify, the more loved you are. You're the life of the party. When in actuality, they're not laughing with you, they're laughing at you. So once again, stop worrying about trying to turn up and turn away. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm putting this out. You see, I talk to people all the time, and I'm humbled that people reach out and convey things that they need advice on. And by the way, if you're going through something and you need some unbiased advice, drop me a line. The worst thing that'll come out of that is truth and a prayer. Don't you think you're worth that? I think so. I've noticed, because it seems like we as a people, we've gotten away from the moral fibers of talk about synchronicity. Wow, thank you, my Father. Thank you, my angels. What it boils down to is exactly that. If you don't respect yourself, you can't expect your environment to respect you. So now you've got to make a decision that enough is enough. Stop condoning bad behavior. Stop exhibiting bad behavior, because that is what is holding you back. Now you may be saying, well, Gerald, if I do that and I truly am myself, I won't be accepted. Well, guess what? Maybe I keep telling you that's not the environment or the people you're supposed to be running with, because I'm going to tell you what. The moment that you decide to walk in your own shoes, that is the moment you're going to watch your environment walk away from you. Why? Because they're going to be intimidated. They're going to be intimidated. And unfortunately, they're going to show you how they really feel, which is resentment. Because they're going to do the old typical, who do you think you are? Well, you should say, I am me, and I'm proud of it. So, why do you make a point to stoop down to a level that ain't yours when you can't claim it? That's just like willfully becoming a statistic when you're not. Why do you do it? So once again, stop worrying about turning up and turn away. Now's the time that you put your shoes on. Put your grown. I was gonna say something else, but I'm not. Okay, now I'm gonna keep it 100, y'all, because you deserve it. Now's the time that you put your big boy and big girl panties on. Put them on. And start sowing them seeds. Do you realize if we blink about 4 or 5 times, we're going to be bringing in the new year? What's your goals for 2015? Because trust and believe, the club ain't going nowhere. Nor is the bad behavior. But you don't have to be partaking in that, especially when you know that you wasn't raised that way. But you know what? I've seen this play out so many times when people make choices out of impulse, and then when they have to deal with the repercussions of those, it always puts them in a dark place, where they think that they're the only one that has gone through or ever will go through what they experience. There are over 6 billion people on this planet. Do you actually think you're the only person that is experiencing what you're experiencing right now? You don't actually believe that, do you? But it is your responsibility to claim your life. So ask yourself this. Why won't you see your worth? Why won't you value yourself? Why won't you invest in yourself? Why do you not dream anymore? Why do you allow those people to disrespect you? Now's the time that you decide to get honest and real with yourself, because guess what? Time doesn't stop for anyone. And just as quick as I'm talking to you now, 5 years will come and go. And what will that stand for? I'm just saying. I'll put it in another perspective. Do you realize, my family, that those that you call friends right now, some of them you ain't even going to see in the new year. Because unfortunately, they're going to show a side of them that you already knew existed, but was afraid to address. So, why are you going to do it? Why are you going to set yourself up for failure? Why? Come on now. But this goes back to what I was saying earlier. I got this feeling in my spirit, y'all, that somebody got the world on their shoulders right now. And you can't make sense of why your life is stopping and starting and starting and stopping, only to be reset all over again. I'm here to tell you, you're seeing the things you're seeing because, first of all, your higher power won't give you anything you can't deal with. Trust and believe that. But he is just waiting for you to talk to him. You know, think of it this way. If I had a key, I don't have my keys with me, and I'm like, here, I'm going to put this in your hand. And at the appropriate time, you put it in this chest, and you open it up, and what you find in it is your endless dreams. Would you do it? Honestly, would you do it? Well, when it comes to your life, that's the same thing. Just metaphorically said, because guess what? Until you decide to have courage to love yourself. And sometimes when it comes to loving yourself, you've got to make decisions that are going to be in the best interest of your life. And when you do make that decision, you unlock the gifts, the blessings that were already there inside you. Here's the ironic part. Excuse me. Some of you guys were born with natural, God-given talent, but you allow your surroundings, your environment, to keep them enslaved. It's like you're actually embarrassed that you have a natural talent because you feel that if you share that, you will be ridiculed. And the question is, why? Don't you know that these abilities, these precious gifts that were bestowed upon you the moment he gave the breath of life into your existence, don't you realize they were placed there for you to share with the world? So the question should be this: if your environment does not enhance growth, why are you in that environment? That is the wrong environment to be in. I'll do one better because I feel passionate about this. Why do you think? Why do you honestly think you don't deserve to be loved? You do not deserve to feel protected, to feel emotionally safe. And lastly, able to enhance your legacy because the people that care will also grow with you. Why do you feel that you are non-deserving of that? Are you basing your state of mind off of choices made, or what was more or less brainwashed, possibly from your childhood, and you finally say, well, you know what? What's the point? It only happens in the movies. That's an illusion. But yet, it's kind of hypocritical because the same things that you see in the media, you run out and do. You emulate like it's gospel. My queens, you know what I'm talking about. I can't stress this. If you would realize how unique, beautiful you are in your own right, why do you make it a point to emulate like her when you are you? You know, they sold that crap. They've been selling that crap for the last 60 years. If it wasn't, your skin had to look a certain way, your hair had to be straight. If your hair wasn't straight, your eyes had to be different. And guess what? Every time that you invest in that, you're basically saying that God made a mistake in creating you. Why? Why? Come on now. And let's go back to what I've been saying before. Do you realize the moment that you have courage to love yourself, you will discover things that were hidden in you. It will be like lighting a fire. You will tap into that little girl that's been waiting for you to release. But here's the trade-off. You got to have the courage to stand on your own feet. You got to be able to walk alone if needed. Because why would you have someone that is robbing you of your essence around you? So therefore you got to make sure that your boundaries are in check. My kings, if you are tired of the disposition that women have, and you feel that you are not a part of what they're complaining about, isn't it your responsibility to represent? Not for the fact that you're doing it for their validation, but no, it personifies you as the individual. Now listen, what you put in is what you get out of it. But if it seems like you're taking an L, or you're giving mind, body, finances, and it's not reciprocated, you're being robbed. Your environment is committing armed robbery on your spirit. And eventually, if you do not turn away, instead of worrying about getting turned up, there won't be nothing to turn up. You would have missed your life. But see, I put a video out yesterday, and I talked about self-infliction of pain. Do you realize that every time you decide to not ensure that your happiness, your emotional stability is in check, which means you must be grounded, you are investing in emotional impulse. You're allowing your environment to more or less dictate your value and worth. You don't deserve that. You don't. And I'm not going to sit up here and ramble, but I'm going to tell you this right now, because I love each and every one of you. Now is the time that you prepare for 2015, the new year. Let's start thinking about the blessings that are going to come next year, the things that are going to be revealed to you. So you got to first in your mind put those goals and affirmations out. Because energy out is energy in. That's why you hear that old parable, be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. That is true, because that is nothing but a metaphor for manifesting. Just make sure that whatever the thoughts that what you're thinking about, they're willing to stand the test of time. They're willing to grow with you, because that creates value and worth. As well as dream and aspire to be a better you. And I guarantee you, if you put those in perspective, your life is going to change. Now, granted, I'm going to put this out here again. If you're in an environment where it's about the chase, it's based off of manipulation or deception, untrust, and downright evil, the things that you desire in your life are not going to come to pass. All that's going to do is attract the things you don't want in your life. So, I just want to put this out because, like I said, I got this feeling. I got this feeling that somebody is saying, you know what, I'm tired of lying to myself. I'm tired of throwing my money away down the drain just to feel accepted. I mean, to the point you taking that hair off and you just throwing it away and like, I'm not going to do that no more. I can take that money and put it somewhere else. But here's the ironic part about it. You don't even see how beautiful you are. You have beautiful hair. You have beautiful eyes. You're a beautiful woman. You're a handsome guy. So why are you going to give props to something or someone that is not you? Give yourself the props, because you deserve it. It's your life. It's your life. So what you going to do? You going to stay on this same road that you've been traveling on? You've been probably doing this for the last almost 20 years of your life, playing the same scenario, only to just lose more and more of you. And the sad thing about it is, the things that you're giving away, you're not getting it back. Your environment is robbing you of your precious resource, which is you. If you're tired of struggling with your bills, make this the moment that you sit down and have a plan of attack. And I guarantee, when you decide to come up with a plan and stick to it, you'll come up out of it. And guess what? You'll be grateful that you did, and you'll also see how strong and committed you are to yourself. Don't make 2014 another year that has gone by in vain. And I'm here to tell you, the you that's sitting up in 2015 is depending that you finally say enough is enough. So my kings and queens, as I always say, stop looking for Mr. and Mrs. Right. You'll never find them. The only way that they will come to you is you have the same attributes. That is what the law of attraction is all about. You can't turn around and say, I want a good man, if you're not a good woman. All you're going to attract is someone that shares the same mindset or mentality as you do. And who wants to play living chess? I make a move, you make a move. I call you, you don't call me. Okay, I'll call you now, then you call me. No. Leave the kids games for those that gotta grow up. You gotta claim yourself. Come on now. I know I'm beating the drum, but don't you think your life is worth it? Now I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let it go. Okay? We're in November. We're, what, 2.5 weeks, not even 2 weeks, it'll be Thanksgiving. Some of y'all are waiting on Black Friday right now. I see you. I see you. You want to save money? Shop online. I'm just going to leave that alone. But make the step, make some division in your life. Take that old cell phone of yours and go through it. And be honest with yourself. Are the contacts that you have in your phone, do they deserve to hear from you? Do they have the attributes to be called a friend? Because there's a thin line with a friend. See, a friend will always tell you what you need and not what you want to hear. A friend is always working on themselves because they see the value in the connection that they share. So you both got to be tandem together. But you can feel emotionally safe with them. And likewise. A friend will always have unconditional love for you. They won't judge you, and they won't put up with your bull. And I want to say something else. Because they only want what's best for you. Even if that means walking away. That's right. You say, well, Jared, why would a friend walk away from me if they're my friend? Because number one reason why friends walk away, because 9 times out of 10 you're doing something or exhibiting something that is too painful to watch, and they pray for you and they care about your well-being, and nobody wants to watch someone go down a dead-end road. Not if you care about them. And you know, because they've always conveyed what's best in your best interest. But if you have not listened, guess what? You're not their friend either. So what's the point? So, I'm going to wind this up. It just feels like somebody's driving. You got your songs on, and you don't want to be home. The music that you listen to helps soothe your soul, your emotions. But you feel so unsafe in your environment emotionally. You gotta go away. You gotta go somewhere where no one see you, because your pride and ego is so high up on your shoulders that you're afraid to cry. And guess what? It's killing you inside. It's toxic. So, if you gotta cry, don't you realize every tear that falls cleanses the soul? It also is the doorway to Him. Because you can't front when you're in pain. That is the most sobering emotion that we possess. So my queens, when you're going to uncork that bottle of emotions and let it out, stop walking around like, number one, some of you are walking around like you're a guy, but you softer than a cracked egg, because all you want is someone to put their arms around you and hold you and tell you it's going to be all right. Well, guess what? How about you start doing that with yourself? How about you have the courage to forgive yourself for the choices that you made? How about you forgive those that have hurt you? Once again, don't let that ego and pride say, I ain't doing that. Don't you realize when you decide to free yourself by forgiving yourself and forgiving those that hurt you, you sever the tie. It's just like being shackled to the person. They might as well be in the room because you... But here's the ironic part about that. They don't even get to see the emotion. They don't even know what you may have been going through. And the sad thing about it, they don't even care. So once again, why you there? Why you there? And I know this doesn't have any merit, and I'm gonna nip this in the bud. My queens, some of you won't even admit it. My kings too. When are you gonna admit that deep down inside, the pain you feel is because you hate the opposite sex? That's right. You secretly hate men. So you think that, well, every time I get over them, I'm teaching them a lesson. Don't you realize every time that you make a choice to do that, that's going to come back in your life? Somebody's going to do that to you? Or worse, if you have a child, it may play out in their life. And ain't nothing worse than watching a child that you love go through pain and you can't do nothing about it. So break that cycle. Because I just described a generational curse. That's what it is. So, you're going to stop compromising yourself. You're going to stop acting like you're up for the highest bidder. Because you know what? Because you don't walk the street. What's the difference? It's time for you guys to respect yourself. Come on now. You don't want to be the person that closes the bar because you're drunk. You know. Come on. I'm saying all these things because I done been there. That doesn't make you any stronger. That doesn't make you more fearful by you exhibiting bad behavior. Come on, because trust and believe, it's the bad behavior people remember the most. You know how they say, you can do 10 good things and one bad thing, and the bad thing will overshadow the good. So let's change that up, okay? Come on. You can do it. Come on now. What you afraid of? You afraid that... Think about it. If you don't, you're basically saying your life means nothing. You don't deserve to be happy. You don't deserve to have the blessings intended. Or worse, you don't deserve to have the one. Because trust and believe, she will come. He will come. And if you are not prepared, what will happen is you will see them. They'll be in your midst. You'll feel it. But guess what? Your blessing will be inherited by someone else. Because God always does that. He will show you potential, but He won't release it without the seeds planted. Come on now. Now I done ran my mouth. But somebody, if you're going through something, just hold on. Just hold on, man. Have that conversation with him before you decide to go out and do something stupid. that may alter your life because of emotions. And you do know when you make decisions when you're emotionally not stable, you end up regretting them because they're impulsive. But the impulsive decisions always leave a mark. So don't be caught slipping on that. And I know somebody's saying, "Well, Joe, I ain't trying to hear all that. I'm pissed off. She did this to me, and nah." And I'm gonna shut myself down. Listen, we got enough people that are playing that role because that's exactly what it is. And don't you realize? Do you want to be the person that deliberately went out to hurt somebody so they can turn around and hurt somebody else? You know that stuff comes full circle, right? You do realize that. It does. It does. And it keeps playing out until you submit. At the end of the day, he's going to get his way. Just make sure that your life is not the price paid because you squandered it. Don't do that. I'm counting on you guys to love yourself. Now, talk about synchronicity. Talking square biz. Anyway, I'm going to sleep. I would love to hear from you guys. Like, subscribe, like or not like, subscribe. And I hope you navigate through this week. Sidestep the BS, the drama. Make this the day that you're done. Make this the day that you decide to invest in you. Make this the day. I guarantee you, when you decide to do this, guess what's going to happen? All those people that didn't support you, they're going to be like a neon sign. Cut them out. Cut them out your life. Don't worry. Don't worry. You will see them later on in life for two reasons. Number one, in order to validate that was a sound decision, and also to validate that you were protected the whole time. Because what he has for you is so precious. That's why it's got your life on it. But you got to do the work. So don't give up on yourself. And if your friends and your environment is not trying to walk and grow with you, don't go by what you hear. Go by their actions. Because your actions always comes across crystal clear. Alright, y'all. I'm going to bed. But you guys deserve it. I'd love to hear from you. So, you guys, as I always say, God is praying for you. You know I am, especially right now. Like I said, I got this feeling somebody going through some stuff, and you like one step away from having a breakdown. And the question is, how'd you get so knotted up inside? But more importantly, who convinced you not to love yourself? It's time to turn that direction around and go within. You can do it. I did it. And I guarantee it'll be the best investment you ever made. And it's you. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, even though it is late, it helps me discern mine. I would love to hear from you guys. Stay protected. Stay blessed. Of course, stay you. You're going to be alright.